You're good. All right, Raheem Waiters, part of the linebacker core of one of the places last year that Marshall really excelled at, and that was something Doc Holliday said coming in. The linebackers had to get better, and he did so by bringing in some super names. And you're one of the guys that really stepped up and when your number was called and made some big plays and made an immediate impact last year in the first game of the season with a big pick six against Miami, Ohio. You've had 2 this week in practice. Playing against the guys that you get the opportunity to play with to your right and your left with Jermaine Holmes and then Hewitt and McKelvey and Cortez Carter, the names go on and on for that linebacker core. But what was the change that really made that linebacker core step back up and have such an impact on that defense like it did last year?
I think it's just the group of guys that we got overall, just a great group of guys, very competitive, and they raise everyone's, competitive level.
Jermaine Holmes, the guy in the middle this year, and he really had a breakout season last year, and a lot of expectations are on his shoulders this year. How do you look up to a guy like that, and what do you take away of a guy that's playing every down, trying to give you everything he's got, and finally getting the recognition that he deserves? How much does that motivate you to go out every down and do the same thing?
Oh, it motivates me exponentially. I mean, like you said, Jermaine Holmes, he's just one of those guys that goes hard every time, and when you see, your teammate, the guy right beside you playing that hard, it makes you want to play just as hard or harder.
You get a guy with DJ Hunter coming back into the linebackers this year. He was there 2 years ago when this team was depleted so much with injuries. He said he played there a lot in high school. That was his normal position. How much does that help, having a guy that is a natural linebacker, that's his trade, but also knows a little bit about that secondary to where if he has to be the one drop back and make a cover, he can do so and do it effectively?
Oh, it's great. I mean, like you say, he has the best of both worlds, and he's just a phenomenal player, and he just, helps and gives me all the advice he can.
Last season, this team, the top 3 tacklers on this team, all in that linebacking core. What was the change that allowed this linebacking core to become one of the most dominant linebacking cores in Conference USA?
I think, there's a lot of pressure and like pushing from our coach, Coach Floyd. He came in and he told us, he was like, man, there hadn't been all-conference linebacker come out of Marshall, and I think it was, I can't don't quote me, it was maybe like 10 years or something, and like he really challenged us to, step it up and lift our potential.
All right, Raheem, appreciate it.
Yep.